You're listening to the one and only JAYO.
Yo, delay. Ooh. Do you love flowers? I think you should. I think that a lot of people, I don't care if it's the year 2020, a lot of people should love flowers like they love air, like they love bees on honey. This episode is brought to you by Aaron's Creations. Now, Aaron's Creations has been around since the 90s. It's a very flourishing company that originated in California, but then took it to Dallas, Texas, to create an even bigger empire and pretty much help people out, whether it's funeral homes. Unfortunately, they can't do funeral homes right now because of COVID, or weddings, but they definitely do deliveries for people who want flowers in their house. You know, it's always good to have just nature inside of your home. Things that you could take care of, and it's just that refreshing feeling. Speaking of, I definitely have to, cut up the bottom of my rosebuds. Of my roses, that are in this vase that I received from Aaron's Creations on my birthday. So this is a company that is located in Dallas, Texas, Arlington, Texas, to be exact, right? But it's closer to Dallas. And if you are looking to get your flowers delivered to you, this is something that they can do. It's a very promising company, 5-star ratings, Yelp reviews out of this world, fast delivery for the local people. And just all around a fun company, the florist, the CEO, the owner of this company, Erin Davenport, she is on top of her game. So make sure you check it out. Go to aaronscreations.com and you can go ahead and add my name there, Jordan Gore, or you can just add TJOP and you can get your 10% discount. Now, 10% is like, what is 10%? But mind you, let's say you forgot to take out the trash and your girlfriend wants to break up with you. You can just easily just replace her attitude with flowers. And let's say you're paying $20, it drops down now to what? I want to say like 18 or 19 bucks. I don't know. I don't feel like doing math right now, but you get 10% off. And if it goes from there, man, I'm telling you, you will just love the service that they provide. That's the most important thing that they have is the service. The service is number one. And of course, their quality is high echelon. And they deliver nationwide. I don't know about international, and I don't even want to put that energy out there. I don't want it to take 15 days to get in China, and then once you get it, the box is flat. It's just all sorts of just different things going on. So make sure nationwide, whether you're in Wyoming, whether you're in a rural area in Alabama, New York, wherever, make sure you check out aaronscreations.com, the number one floral company. Again, girls would love for you to give them flowers. Guys, fellas, all the fellas out there, don't be all egotistical and shy and scared and just like, man, F it, whatever. Now, get her some flowers. I promise you she will love you. I don't care if chicks say that they don't like flowers because they die. We all go. But guess what? The beautiful thing of waking up in the morning, you could literally smell the roses. You could smell the flowers as soon as you wake up in the morning, and that's a good feeling. So check it out, aaronscreations.com, and let's start the show. So, first of all, everybody, welcome to the JAYO podcast. I'm the host, Jordan Gore, a.k.a. JAYO, and I hope you had a great week. It's been rough. I know that there's a lot of dark energy out there, but that's why people like myself, people like others, we try to bring that light out as much as we can. It's important. We don't mean any harm. We just want people to change their ways from negative to positive. And it's all good. Shout out to B.I.G. Rest in peace. I'm so corny. But guess what, guys? I have something to say. So this episode, we have a tattoo artist / entrepreneur. She did tattoos back in the day, but now she's, doing her own thing as far as a clothing line, as far as an expo that she has, she does. So she's a part of all sorts of different things. And she goes by the name of Memphis Mori. Very, very, very cool chick. And she's all the way in Canada, so she's not dealing with the American bullshit out here. She even said that people like me are welcome in Canada. I guess she did say, if you voted for Donald Trump, you are not allowed in Canada. So those are her words, and I think that you should go buy them because she will beat you up. But welcome to this episode. I just hope you guys are good, man. I hope that you guys are okay. I hope the energy is at least somewhat decent. I know we're in dark times, but like I said, guys, let's stay in there. Let's stay in the game, okay? This episode is important. This is all the people who are going through that depression and going through different things. Like, we want to make sure that we turn that frown upside down, all right? And that sounds cheesy, but guess what, man? We need a little cheesiness out here nowadays. We can't be too cool for school. It's a lot of shit going on. I do want to send out my prayers to the people down in Galveston, Texas, down in Louisiana. It's that hurricane that's out there. This is something that I don't like. I spent some time in Texas, and the first hurricane that hit Galveston, when I was out there, a lot of people who were from there were moving up to where I was at, the Dallas area, the Fort Worth area. And you could just tell it was just not their vibe. So I do want to send prayers, and anything that I can do, anything that we can do as people to help contribute to the people who have lost their homes, to the buildings that have, been destroyed, whatever we can do to try to repair, I want to say that I would, you guys fly me out there and I'll fucking try to put that shit together myself if I have to. That's how passionate I am about people in southern Texas, because I have a lot of love out there, man, and it's a really good environment. It's a really good place to be at. So my prayers go out to them, man. Same with Louisiana. Louisiana, the first time I went out there, I go for a jog and people are just waving. You don't even know what they're waving at. I'm a city boy. I don't know why they're waving at me, but it's cordial. It's that Southern hospitality. So once you got that Southern hospitality mixed with Southern food, we don't want to lose you guys. We don't want to lose the South. So prayers go out to you guys, and please keep us posted if there's anything that we can do. But this is going to be an interesting episode. Me and Memphis Mori, we talk about, we just have fun with the conversation, but then it starts to take a turn to where we do talk about one of her articles that she wrote on her website. It's a blog that she wrote just about demons and depression and suicidal thoughts that she's had, time and time again. This is definitely an inspiring piece, and we had an interesting talk, a very, I want to say just a genuine talk. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is this interview is a great interview. The bad news is fucking Zoom. The recording, so basically I'm just going to be completely transparent in this situation. So basically I was on my laptop on Zoom, and it was just this huge feedback that I was getting that was really, really annoying. And I don't know what connection was going on my end, but I knew it was me. So I used my phone, but the recording was for the cloud instead of the actual, from my phone. So I basically transferred different devices, and one of the devices had the recorded version and the other doesn't. So I'm still trying to figure it out. Hopefully I can find it, or hopefully I could retrieve it. But right now you're getting the audio version. It's okay. On YouTube, we're gonna make you happy. We're gonna have some beautiful ladies dancing around. We're gonna have all sorts of different things on the visuals for you to see while you're listening to this incredible episode. So again, that's something that I need to get used to. This is our first Zoom interview. But I definitely want to make sure that the next time it doesn't happen again. I know the fans get sometimes pissed off, and I want to make sure that you guys are good so you don't beat me up, okay? But we got a little news. It is, again, it's dark times, but, hopefully I can make the best out of it. We have that one fucking idiot. Oh, my gosh. This guy who... it's crazy. I didn't even mention this in the last podcast, but this 17-year-old, who was charged with a homicide in a triple shooting that killed 2 protesters. Now, mind you, for those who don't know, protesting is literally people who just stand around and hold signs the whole time. When they say peaceful protesting, that's even more exciting because they don't mean any harm. You had some things in the past where you had these dumbasses who were in front of their yards with, guns that you see on Grand Theft Auto and 007, the husband and the wife, and they're sitting there doing their, it looks like they're posing for a fucking gun magazine. And they got their exposure and went off or whatever. I don't even want to say their names because they don't matter. But then you have this 17-year-old who killed 2 protesters, and this is in Kenosha, Wisconsin. First of all, I just want to say Kenosha, Wisconsin, that sounds like a place where there are a lot of fucking eerie things that go on. I know Wisconsin is the home of, Green Bay, the home of all sorts of different things. This is crazy. And I want to list this guy's name because he's such an idiot. His name is Kyle Rittenhouse. If you have a last name like Rittenhouse, you sound like some kind of shooter, some kind of school shooter. No offense, but I am going to keep a hawk eye on any Rittenhouse that I see. And he wanted to, this 17-year-old wanted to, who was actually in front row in one of Trump's rallies, he thought he was doing something cool. Not knowing that, one, the picture that I seen that I put on my Instagram story, he looked like he was completely scared. Like he was like, what the fuck just happened? And so now it's like, fuck him. So now his dumbass is getting arrested, going to jail. He's 17 years old, going to spend the rest of his life in prison. I had a friend who was 14 years old that killed somebody at the high school I was going to. And this motherfucker, he did it in self-defense, so he didn't really get, he got out at the age of 25. And this kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, tried to do something that was just out of the fucking normal. Not even out of the normal, because that's normal. That goes on a lot. But he was, for a 17-year-old to do that. You see school shootings and things like that. It's like, are you that fucking bored? It's like, Jesus Christ, like there's like I don't know what his motivation was for sure. And the second thing is, I don't even think that he was aware that, I'm in trouble. And then you have these dumbass cops who were giving him water, giving him, patting him on the back, touching his ass, whatever they were doing, not even asking for an ID. And this guy's carrying a big ass gun. Let him be 50 shades darker and watch what the fuck would happen. He would have been out. This guy would have been laid out. If he was a black dude, he would have been laid out right then and there, especially in a place like Wisconsin. It's like, why are you walking around with the arm gun that you don't even have? That's not even yours. You're not even licensed to carry. So now he's about to get his ass turned inside out inside of a prison facility. Hopefully. Because I know that a lot of people like to favoritism. Maybe he's sharing a beer with these guys at a young age, which is also weird. I don't know why people have such interest in kids like that, but whatever. That's a whole different topic. But yeah, this is another person that's just going to come and go. And it's unfortunate that he had to take 2 lives, but he's going to get what's coming to him for sure. And that's not me threatening anybody. That's just, we already know, where's Dylan Roof at? Why haven't we heard from him? Maybe because he might be dead and nobody wants to say anything because they don't want us to jump for joy and celebrate. But I have a feeling he's gone. Either that or he's somewhere getting dick slapped by a dude who looks like fucking... I don't even want to say this guy's name. I'm so disgusted. But he played on White Chicks. He played on Friday After Next. He looks like a black Arm & Hammer kind of guy with the bald head and muscles. That's probably what Dylan Roof is getting plowed by right now. But sorry to be so extreme. But that's just how pissed off I am. It's just like, this makes no sense. You're killing 2 people. Jacob Blake got shot in the back 7 times, paralyzed from the waist down. Hopefully something can happen. A miracle could happen to where he walks again. But he got killed in front. He got shot in front of his kids. In front of his kids in the back seat of the car. And now they're traumatized. I'm reading that they're traumatized and they're having to go through, therapy and things like that to try to get themselves right. It's just like, what do you got? I know that there's an agenda, but God, man, people are digging their own graves out here. I said that about this whole, and I hate to go from, shooters and racism to, this stupid chick who I don't even want to say her name. I said it already on my YouTube video. But you have her going through what she was going through as far as, trying to promote her OnlyFans account, right? And if you don't know what it is, just go to my YouTube. It's the most recent one, and it's her name 3 times. I don't even want to say it because I'm disgusted. But it's just retarded. And I think that I just want to know what goes on in the minds of these people. You know, like they're just digging their own graves for no fucking reason. This 17-year-old was set on not having to go to school, whether he was being bullied in the past or not. He didn't have to deal with any tension, nothing like that. These are people who are just chilling, who can just chill at their house, play video games all day, but he wanted to try to be not even a hero, a villain, and cause something. And now look at him. Like, what a dummy. Like I give a lot of dumbass awards to a lot of people who do dumb shit, but this puts the fucking cherry on top. You know? It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. And I think that there needs to be change because, boy, people are mad. And it ain't just black people. And that's something that I was having a conversation yesterday with some family. And I just have that feeling, man. I don't have a feeling that the future is going to be terrible. I don't think that, and this is just me talking, trying to be, whether it's naive, whether it's being hopeful. But there is going to be some trouble, I feel like. And I don't want to say that I'm prophesizing it or anything like that, but there is going to be something that's going to be where it's going to be outlaws out here. It's going to be bandits, that aren't wearing scarves and aren't wearing, crazy hats and having guns on their holster. Maybe they will, who knows? But it's going to be really rough. And especially if you can't rely on cops, the more you can't rely on cops, the more a lot of them are just going to look like food to people who haven't eaten in days, to people who are out of a job because of COVID. So all you cops out there, man, it's just, you have to realize that, you better support one another. I was looking at that, I wasn't looking at the video, but I was talking about this with some family again, and I was just like, those rookie cops who were there just watching George Floyd deal with what he dealt with, like, now they got this black eye that's going to last on them forever because they're on video. They have footage of themselves. People already know who they are, so now they got this stigma. When all they could have done was just got that cop off of that guy and just said, yo, bro, chill. We're being recorded. I'm not condoning any violence. I'm not saying that these cops should have done what they did. Hell no. I'm definitely not saying that. You cops just better take precaution, man. It's going to get very, very dangerous. And if you guys want to poke these bears, I'm telling you, it is not going to turn out so great because people already don't trust you. You already burned bridges with a lot of people. It's just going to come to a point where it's just like, what's the point of having y'all around? And I'm not trying to put that energy out there like as if it's not going to happen, because it is going to happen. It's basically building up to that. And that's just real. So, you guys just get your shit together. The crooked ones, I've seen movies like Crash. I've seen Training Day. I've seen these kind of things. Yo, people need to learn their fucking lessons by now. This is the year 2020. And I get it. People are going to be people. But that's why you need people like me to be that to plant that seed of just how you should move. Like, nobody just lives this world just without teachings. And if you have this in the back of your mind that like, oh yeah, because of the color of his skin, I'm hating. Dude, this is 2020. Get out of that 1865. Get out of that whole, 1900s, whatever you're feeling. Get out of that. It's over. And no matter how tight you guys are trying to hold on to, and these are for the older dumbasses who are out there still trying to provoke this shit, you're going to lose. And you're going to spend a lot of money while losing. You see how these NBA players are boycotting because of Jacob Blake. Congrats, dumbass. Now that you guys have these fucking, this audience, this virtual audience, now you don't even get to use it anymore. So now ticket sales are going to go low. I'm pretty sure they're not going to do football season. They stopped doing soccer in some parts. So it's like, what do you want? We're not going to all go to this have this Jim Jones mentality and go on this island and drink the Kool-Aid and all of us kill ourselves. We're not going to do that. We're going to flourish. Like, what do you want? We're great. Black people are great. Black people are amazing. I don't consider any race being the best. I stand by my team where I come from, but everybody has their own talents, their own gifts, their own skills, no matter what color they are. So I never put any number one. I never put anything as number one when it comes to race, because I don't think that's fair to a lot of people who aren't racist. And I think that adds a lot of competition to where it becomes dangerous. And we have a long history of that, to where it's dangerous to even think that, oh, I'm better than you, I'm better than you. No, that's how race wars start. And racism is always going to happen. But fuck, man, I'm ready to just have hate for aliens by now. And I'm not talking about Hispanics. I'm talking about literally green aliens that come from space. So, yeah, man, you guys are just digging your own graves. And if this is how 2020 is being, because we see a lot of these people doing dumbass shit when they're in positions of power. If you just want to self-destruct like that because you had a little bit too much coke, you had a little, you had a couple of girls who slashed your tires, or you had dudes who, cheated on you or whatever, and now this is how you want to be. Hey, to each his own. I'm not telling you how to live your life. Just know that there's repercussions. And I don't see how grown-ass people can't see that. I don't see how a 17-year-old can't see that. It's like T.K. Kirkland. Who raised y'all? But that's my rant on that, and I don't have anything else to say. I just want to let you guys know that. I love y'all, and I'm praying for Jacob Blake to recover the best way he can and milk that motherfucking government of Wisconsin dry. He needs to be in the same house as Drake after this shit. He needs to literally be next door to Drake. I wonder what being next door to Drake is like, though. I mean, of course, it's not even literally next door. It's probably like fucking yards away. But Jesus Christ. I went on a whole different binge, and I watched Degrassi with my girl. We're just binge watching this because the pandemic, it kind of, for me, it's kind of just, I'm reflecting on my childhood and things that I listened to. I've listened to all sorts of music that I listened to in the 2000s, just nostalgia. And Jesus Christ, man, Degrassi is a fucking good show. And I wish that they would have that kind of show, especially now. Now would be the perfect time to have a Degrassi-like show, because kids not all kids are in school just yet because of this pandemic. But it's a very interesting show that covers all sorts of different barriers as far as just how to move in high school and how, what people go through and how it's just relatable. And it's a good show. But what I was saying was that just seeing Drake, and shout out to Memphis Mori because she's from Canada, and and she told me that they fucking do not care about Degrassi. But that's how I feel about LA. When people were like, yo, I want to go to LA. I heard of superstars and celebrities. You get to, you go around the corner, you bump into Kevin Hart at the gas station, and yeah, you might see that, but being from LA, it's just like, all right. It's like my girl. She met the voice for Donatello from Ninja Turtles, and it was just like just a cool dude, just a regular dude. Went over to their house and everything. It's just like one of those things where it's just like cool, but a lot of people in the outside world are just like, oh my gosh, L.A. I gotta go to L.A. Gotta go. They're picking their nose trying to get to L.A. So it's funny just how that works. But back to Degrassi in Canada, because they don't care about Degrassi like that. But I'm like, why? There are some dimers on Degrassi who are much older now. All right, I ain't been to Epstein Island, and I think that Epstein Island should definitely be an island where pedophiles and all of them go to, minus the kids. It just needs to be like another prison for all those different kind of individuals. Because broomsticks in the ass and prison just isn't working. I'm sorry, guys. I'm being too extreme. It's a little dark. Let me go ahead and just bring a little light to this situation. But Drake was in this show, and I'm just like, God damn. This is the only billionaire on this show. And everybody else is, doing their things, but just chilling in Canada mostly. They don't have the worldwide presence like he does, which is probably okay. I'm pretty sure they don't want that. It's just crazy seeing Drake, no edge up, until like the 5th or 6th season, I think. He just sits there with like dandelion hair, skinny, lanky, real like it's funny how just like I wonder if he knew years later he would be what the fuck he is right now. And that's a beautiful feeling, man. To start off with a TV show like that, that's enlightening, by the way. It's very inspiring. To go from that to being this superstar is fucking amazing. So congrats to Drake, and I look forward to having you on the show. There was one guitarist who I wanted to have on the show that I'm not going to mention his name because he was one of my favorite guitarists. And I wanted to deep dive in all his albums. And we actually DM'd each other. And when I tell you that, you know, I interview celebrities a lot, but when I get a message from like people I genuinely like, and I feel like I know because I've listened to them forever, I get chills, dude. Like I was kind of just before, like when he responded to my message, I was like walking around the house pacing myself like, oh my God, I can't believe this dude hit me up. It's so fun, man. It's so fun. But he turned down the interview for personal reasons, which I get. So when that happens, people, that's when you got to bug the shit out of them and try to get that interview. So when that interview does come, I will mention it. But shout out to Oklahoma. That's all I got to say. Let's see. Do we have any other news before I get this interview started? Oh, that's a thing. Let's see. So I don't have anything. I'm just trying to spark up a different topic while I look up the news. So President Trump is bashing the NBA or whatever. People are a little too tired of whatever, the league, or he's basically saying that people are a little too tired of from what I got out of it, he was like, people are tired of supporting Black Lives Matter. They're tired of supporting police brutality, which is not true, Trump. At this point, I just know that he's under a rock, and he's just not aware of everything that goes on, no matter how much he knows and how many people he sees. I did say F Trump during the interview with Memphis Mori. I'm not gonna lie, but please, you know, the guards and the agents, the FBI, like I don't want Secret Service or anybody knocking at my door, because I never said that before. One. I don't know. Just, you know, whatever happens. But I just don't know where his brain is at. And it sucks that this is somebody who's our president. And I never felt this way before. And that's really interesting. But it's probably the first and the last time I'm going to say that, because I never said that with any president. You know, I mean, one, because when I was born, around the time we had a cool president who was still on some fuck shit, but Bill Clinton. And then George Bush came in. I was still a little too young to really understand politics. But I understood that George W. Bush was pretty evil and had evil intentions. I mean, I think that just at this time, like Obama even had a little dirt and stuff like that. At this time, it's just like, yo, like, I don't want to say F you anymore. That's probably the last time I'm going to say it. Just giving you a fair warning that I did say it. But I don't want to put that energy, because it doesn't feel right with my soul saying that. So just wanted to get that out the way. But Trump, you're wrong. The NBA players are doing this because they're trying to milk you guys for your money, because you guys spend money on black people's heads. You know, and that's not right. So until you guys get it right, it's not that hard. But until you guys get it right, I'm glad that they're protesting. Let's see. Like, again, Barack Obama, he praises the NBA players. So maybe Trump had a different opinion because he just, I don't know what's up with him. He has an obsession with Barack Obama, maybe. But if Barack says that he praised the NBA players, Trump is going to go the complete opposite. It happens. This was pretty funny. R. Kelly was attacked by an inmate inside the Chicago prison. Wow. I'm just trying to think of how that scenario just panned out. You know, just how, you know, because obviously I'm pretty sure people in that penitentiary know what R. Kelly did. And I'm pretty sure the people that don't were probably like, oh shit, R. Kelly's here, and excited until they found out what happened, you know? And I decided to change the song. I don't want to play his beat, but it's called When a Felon's Fed Up. And it just goes like this. When a felon's fed up, you gotta give me your cheese. It ain't too much to talk about, or something like that. So he got attacked by an inmate inside the Chicago prison. I'm pretty sure it's over a chicken patty. You know, maybe R. Kelly was a little bit of a dickhead to him. Who knows? But he deserves to still be in there for what he's done. And that just blows my mind, just how, like, even as a celebrity, you could be touched. You know, I wonder how Suge Knight is doing in prison, to be honest. He's one of those people I actually thought about today where I was just like, man, that would suck if he died. Because as much as I think that he's done a lot of evil shit, I think that he slowly but surely just transformed into that as time went on. But he had an agenda for rappers to make money. You know, I just think the way he formatted and did it was something that I wouldn't do. And you got to watch what you say about Suge Knight out here, man. It's nothing, and that's for all the people out there. You know, the people who think that it's all that simple and stuff. This guy has a lot of people in his pockets, and vice versa. And you know, I think that I just wonder how he's doing. You know, I just wonder how he's doing, and honestly, I hope he's okay. You know, I hope he's okay. That's somebody I would love to interview. You know, I don't think I have bad blood towards him for what he did. I heard one time he somebody, it was like a security guard or something that just did something bad, and Suge Knight brought him in the bathroom and beat him around, slapped him around, and made him drink a bucket full of piss, a bucket full of urine from whatever rappers were inside the studio at that time. When I heard it was Corrupt. Corrupt said that on the Breakfast Club. Shout out to Corrupt. Corrupt is a really good dude. But when I heard that, because I don't see the things that go on behind closed doors in a lot of places clearly, right? If I could be a fly on the wall, I would definitely be a fly on the wall at fucking Suge Knight's, in Suge Knight's when he was at his prime. Fucking drinking a bucket full of urine by rappers who clearly in that time, I'm sure, smoked a lot of weed, drank a lot of Hennessy. I know I'm being stereotypical, but ate a lot of motherfucking chicken wings or whatever. Hey, fuck it, I'm black too. It don't matter. But it's just funny how, just somebody with that kind of power, I would have to fight him, to be honest. I could not drink piss. There was one time where, when I was in middle school, I stepped on this kid's shoe, and he was from a Crip gang called Menlo Crip, and that's out here in Southern California. And I stepped on his shoe. He had some clean all white shoes, and he was like, "Clean them." He told me to clean them, and I was scared. I'm not even gonna front. I was scared. I was the opposite of what Biggie said when he said, "Be far from timid." At that time, I was like, "Oh shit!" So I literally licked my thumb, scraped the bottom of his shoe, or the shoe, the dirt that I stepped on. I cleaned that clear. That's as far as I'm going. I'm not drinking a whole bucket full of piss I don't care how much in power you are. That is clearly disrespectful. And then I'm pretty sure he got fired. I'm pretty sure he got fired on, beat up. Like, that was just too much. But I don't even know where I got that from. We were talking about R. Kelly. But it's just funny how, just how people, when they're in this successful, when they have this level of power, just like what different people do to try to get to them or whatever the case may be. So R. Kelly, I'm pretty sure it was over a chicken patty. I'm pretty sure it was probably just over him not hitting a high note the correct way. Because who knows? Maybe some people maybe he's somebody's bitch in prison for all we know. Right? I mean, that's the dark part, is you have this guy who went from, you remind me of my Jeep, to, you remind me of this creep inside of the fucking, Terminal A or whatever fucking prison, gate A, gate B, or whatever the case may be. Like, he went from ignition to fucking prison. I'm trying to think of some other ones. He went from I believe I can fly to motherfucking I really wish I could fly. All right, those were all corny. I don't know. But you get what I'm saying, is that either way, there was definitely a funny way of him getting attacked, But yeah, man, R. Kelly is just I don't know. I don't know. And that's just unfortunate that he done some dumbass shit like that for somebody who's that talented. Big Sean dropped a song with Nipsey Hussle. Very good song. It's called Deep Reverence. Nipsey Hussle always has that piercing voice that really just it's the hunger and the determination in his voice always, to where it's borderline. It's like a chill Tupac kind of vibe. And I hate saying that because both of them have been slain. But it's the truth, man. It's just something that just touches you to the core. And I'm proud of Big Sean. You know, somebody who I interviewed a decade ago. You know, for him to be in this position now, I didn't even know he'll rock cornrows the way he's rocking them. I mean, those shits are fresh. He looks like an Allen Iverson, you know. I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna send that to him. I'm gonna send that to him for sure. But it's just funny, man. How you know, just how these, not funny. It's beautiful how these two put together a magic piece like that. And I love it, man. I love it. It's a good song to listen to in the morning. It's a good song to listen to while you're going to work. You know, Big Sean has a lot to blow off his chest. And why not? You know, the only thing I don't like is that it took him so long to do that. And I honestly, and this is just me being transparent, because I love them both, but I think Jhené Aiko definitely had an influence to why he changed his style. I think it was too quick, personally. As an artist, I can completely understand when artists want to go a different direction. They want to be, maybe they go from extreme to chill. Maybe they go from chill to extreme. You know, but I think it's always that thing that you have to kind of ease your way into. Drake does that very well. You know, I think even Jay-Z does that very well. It's like the elite rappers, of course, that do that very well. Cole, he stays the same. Kendrick stays the same. But they don't really put out too much music. And when they do, you get the same them, which is always good. Who else? I could say Drake does that very well as far as the transitioning. Eminem tried. And I think that's why I don't want to say fell off, but that's why he had to deal with that roller coaster of, you know, what's good and what's not, and what sounds good and what doesn't. You know, if you hear the difference between Marshall Mathers LP1 compared to LP2, you see the growth, you hear the growth. But it's just, you know, fans, they're fickle, and they like to go with what makes sense to them, what they're used to, you know, and it's a magic trick that a lot of people I don't think they really know how to scramble, you know. There was a point where I was disappointed in Wiz Khalifa for switching up his thing. But the thing with Wiz Khalifa is he can do everything. You know, he can be a part of a cartoon, a comic book. He just has that. He's like Snoop Dogg. He can be everywhere, you know, which makes him great because he's touching different barriers besides music. But what I didn't like is how it went from Kush and Orange Juice to literally Rolling Papers right then and there. And that was, for me, that was a disappointment, somebody who was a fan. I still love Wiz. I think that I respect him way more for being a good father and a good artist, a good talent. But it was just disappointing to not follow up with the Kush and Orange Juice. And I think it's a deep meaning with that, but I would rather just say it to him face to face and really go over why he was like that or what made him want to change, you know, because you go from In the Cut, you go from Mesmerized, you go from, you know, The Supply to, you know, I'll Roll Up, you know, you go from that to Black and Yellow. You know, Black and Yellow was a good song. It was just very different, you know, he turned up, but he's versatile like that. It was just unfortunate that to me, that I couldn't keep up. You know, it was like he was doing too much at once at one point. And I think he got back to his grips the past few years. Taylor Alderdice, when that came out, you know, years ago, that was awesome. It's just one of those things where, yeah, man, it's very fickle. And as we get older, that's the thing too, as a fan, once you get older, you know, it's like you don't look at the new music as the same as you did when they did the older music. You know, that's why I go back to the 2000s music, the 2010s music. You know, it's just things that are just self-reflecting and reminders. I listen to those more than whatever music they're putting out currently. I'll still check it out, don't get me wrong, But it's just, like I said, maybe it's just me being older. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, man, I think the only people I haven't done that to is Slipknot, which is a rock band, a metal band. Obviously Drake, being a fan. I'm trying to think of who else. Nipsey was another one where it's just like he may have switched up different things for radio play or what have you, but it was just that same thing to where I could listen to all of his music all the time. Once I listen to your music all the time, album from album, I'm all yours. Like, I'm your fan. Once it starts being 2 out of 5 albums sound good, or I'm only listen to 2 out of 5 albums for the rest of my life, that's when I'm just like, what happened there? I question it. And that's something I would just talk to the artist about. It's nothing personal. I don't think that they've done bad. I don't think that they're terrible at their new stuff. It's just a feeling that I have within. And I just think that with Big Sean, going back to him, with JAYO, that changed his style up. And I hate that it's taken him so long to find himself again in that. But I think Deep Reverence definitely, it was like a full circle. It just came back to him. Kind of reminded me of the Lemonade freestyle days, the Too Fake with Chitty Bang days. It took me back to, because that was around the times I interviewed him. And I remember I wasn't even a fan of Big Sean when I interviewed him. It was something that was booked by my assistant, and it just turned into where I was like, oh shit, like, I like this guy. He's good, So shout out to Big Sean, man. Keep doing your thing, brother. Let's see. Whoa, time is flying, buddy. Do we have any other news before I play this? Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, I think we're good on the news so far. We had that dumbass it's just some dumbass people who tweeted boycott Magic City during a time where black people are getting killed and shot. People just don't pay him no mind. The more you do that, the more he's just going to keep on going. And he becomes a Twitter trend. And then people see him who like him, and they're just like, oh, I really like him now. Don't give him that energy, man. That's all I got to say. I just think that that's something that's just petty. It's stupid. And again, people like him just don't deserve to have a voice. Stick to acting. Stick to doing, like Bow Wow says, stick to doing your robot dance. And that's that on that. So now I'm about to play this interview with the one and only Memphis Mori. Did I rhyme that? The one and only Memphis Mori. Nah, I feel like I didn't rhyme that, but I could say that in a rap. Let me try that real quick. So I'm about to interview this chick, Memphis Mori. Yeah, it's the one and only. I don't know. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this done. This is the TJOP podcast, and I love you. Enjoy this interview. I'm going to go ahead and once this interview's over, that's the end of the episode, so enjoy it. This is her full episode. This is all about her, so enjoy it, and I will still your ears again next week. Bye-bye. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is TJOP. This is my very first Zoom meeting. I was trying to test it out just to see how it goes. I've done a few meetings on this app, but it's really cool. So I want to make sure that, we have a little fun and interview guests from all around the world, from Canada, from Australia, from everywhere that you can imagine. This one so happens to be a tattoo artist. Now, like myself, I'm pretty there. I'm a little there. But I want to get work done by Memphis Mori. How's it going? How you doing today?
I am quite good. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Are you staying safe out here? Because there's a lot of craziness going on. Like, where are you? Are you in Canada? Are you in Memphis? Like, where are you at?
Hamilton, Ontario, so definitely not in the States. So it's pretty good up here. I have no complaints. Nice. Canada definitely got pandemic better under control than the U.S. did.
Okay, cool. So if you're in Canada, where did this name Memphis Mori come from?
It kind of came from the fact that I grew up really loving old country music, specifically Johnny Cash, and so it was just sort of like a reference to the original band name, which was Johnny Cash, and the Tennessee 2 or the Tennessee 3.
Oh, interesting. Johnny Cash, what a legend. Just such. What's your favorite? What would you say your favorite, like top 3 favorite songs by him are?
It's a controversial opinion, but "Hurt" has to be, I think, my favorite. I know it's not written by him, but it's just such a good cover.
Very smooth.
And then probably like "Walk the Line," which is another like very cliche one. But then like probably "Ring of Fire," which he did with June Carter Cash.
Okay. Shout out to the legend Johnny Cash. Now, I'm going to tell you the backstory of how I got your information. One, do you like my tattoos? Do they look okay? I know I'm not tatted like you, but how do they, just for the fans to know, how do they look?
They look very tribally. It's a choice.
Cool. Okay, I just wanted your approval. It seems like you like it, so let me go ahead and just take these sleeves off right here, you know? It was hot. Okay. Perfect. Now let's get this interview started. So I got your information because, honestly, I was watching, I don't know where, but you know, with the pandemic, you just go in this rabbit hole and just watch all sorts of different shows. So I was like, I want to watch Degrassi. And I know, you're probably thinking like, you know, everybody talks about Degrassi when they think of Canada or whatever. But a friend of mine's actually referred me to you because you were one of their clients. And they were just like, yo, she's pretty cool. Like, I see you do interviews with different people. So, you know, get her on the show, and I think it'll be a hit. So, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. This is awesome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Were you a fan of Degrassi? Was that just a thing in the hometown? Okay.
I was. Oh yeah, everybody cares about Degrassi. Nobody cares about Degrassi.
Right.
The only thing about Degrassi is the fact that Drake, I think, was better in a wheelchair than he was as a rapper.
Oh, what? That's great. It's funny because I was looking at it and I was just like, because I'm like probably like on season 2. I mean, this is 30 minutes each. I got time to kill for sometimes, but I'm just looking like, I can't believe this guy started off in here and now he's damn near a billionaire. And like everybody else, you don't really hear from them anymore. You know, that's so crazy. Maybe, you know, in Canada, but not in the States.
No one has here either.
Right.
It's definitely not like, yes, national treasure.
Right.
Degrassi. Our national treasure, like, unfortunately, like Justin Bieber and like
the Raptors,
Nickelback.
Colorado Raptors. Nickelback. Okay. I like Nickelback.
I was going to, like, I guess, yeah, the Raptors would be a better choice.
Oh, that's cool. So we have a few questions, and definitely want to get you, involved with the fans. One of my questions, most importantly, is because you are a tattoo artist. Oh, by the way, let me give people the backstory. She's the owner of a tattoo shop called Grim Tattoo. Covered Expo, you're the owner of that as well as a clothing brand called Sullen Art Collective. How did that? What was that?
That stuff, like, I own Grim Studios, which is a tattoo shop. I don't actually tattoo anymore. And then Covered Expo is my tattoo convention that goes in the summer in Toronto. And then Sullen Clothing is actually like a California-based brand, and I just run all of the Canadian distribution for them. So like I'm the like head of like Canada for that.
Interesting. And how did you become a part of that?
The tattoo industry is a very small industry overall, and the number one clothing brand that represented tattoo artists is Sullen. And what they do is it's a really cool project because like all of their shirts are limited edition. So they'll do a collaboration with like any good tattoo artist, and basically they'll do like say 5 seconds of that shirt, and then once that's sold, it's never printed again. So it's very cool in like the sense that you have to kind of collect your favorite artists' merchandise, and they've just been like a really big inspiration to the tattoo community. They've really brought the industry together, and like they've really helped push the boundaries of like what art has been like shown to people in like the industry is outside of tattooing, because tattooing used to be very like small and like very tattoo based. Sullen has started to like help doors for us to kind of like branch out into, you know, musicians and actors and Instagram celebrities and stuff like that, because of the fact that like it's a brand that was more universal.
Interesting. That's a really cool way to look at it. It's crazy how far tattoos became, like how far they came. You know, they've gotten. I just remember watching. I think it was. What was that? Oh, I thought you were saying something. It was crazy how it's going out. Can you hear me? It's so weird. I know I have good reception here. We're good. We're good. Okay. I remember, I don't want to say it was the movie Terminator. Maybe it was The Outsiders, like an old movie. And I just remember they used to have like the little, kind of like that little, the slash tattoo, you know, where it was like a cross or whatever he had, or like the road, the Guns N' Roses kind of. It's crazy how you start off from that and that looked badass. And now, you know, you go from that to sleeves and like, you know, face tattoos and things like that. Where was your first tattoo? And what is it, of course?
My first tattoo, I was 15 when I got it, and my parents had to sign for it. So I was like, well, I'm gonna make this count, because I didn't want to like get something like super small. I was like, I'm gonna go as big as I possibly can. So I ended up getting like a piece that went from basically across my whole stomach all the way up into my rib cage. So it's like basically a huge like hip / stomach tattoo as my first piece.
What? That's crazy. At 15? Like, what made you, who pressured you? Like, how did that happen?
Like, into tattooing since I was like 7 or 8 years old. Wow. So the minute I could get something, and like, I've always known that I wanted to be in this industry. I've always known that I wanted to be involved in it, and I've always known that I wanted to be very heavily tattooed.
That's crazy. So you were front line of a revolution. That's awesome. That must feel nice too, because again, like before you couldn't get a job with the tattoo, and now it's like fuck it, like you know you have sleeves, whatever, just cover it up or whatever. It's crazy how just it's kind of like a. Do you think it's more of like a like now it's become more of a cultural thing in a way, or do you still feel like tattoos are just kind of just the outlaw badass kind of look for different people?
I definitely don't think it's a badass thing anymore. Most of our clients are like, you know, professionals, to be honest. Like, we deal with a lot of teachers, we deal with a lot of doctors, we deal with a lot of like psychiatrists. We deal with pretty much people from all walks of life. So I definitely don't think it's like a rebellion anymore. I definitely think it's just people heal in many different ways. And for so many people, tattooing is a way to feel like they are dealing with emotions, they're dealing with problems in their life, they're dealing with memorializing things, telling their story, or just like sometimes just feeling more comfortable in their own skin. Mm-hmm. And tattooing allows people to take control of their appearance in ways that like you can only really get from like plastic surgery or more extreme body modifications.
Interesting. That's a cool way to look at it. And I remember. And I regret this, but all of my tattoos were in-house. They were just like from one of my friends. And the first one I got was this collarbone tattoo, as well as a chest tattoo right here. And the collarbone says forgive and live. You know, that's what I go by. Just life goes on. You know, you either forgive these people and move on or you don't. But I remember that process of what it was like, and it was funny because I never gave my tattoo artist any money, which is like something that's just like I'm kind of looking at it like, damn, like maybe if I did, he would have hooked it up a little better. But I remember I literally gave him an iPhone, and this was the iPhone, the second one, not the first one, the gray one, but the second one with the black back. And I gave him that, and it was because a friend gave it to me, and he tatted me here and here as well as my cousin. You know what I'm saying? I think tattoos are definitely like a diary that people can read if they just look close into it. You know what I mean? And that's the awesome part about you is you actually have like a diary all around your body, and it's just like you impact that, whether it's in your blogs and your website, whether it's in your you know your you know, whether it's on your Instagram, whether it's your business, you know, whatever you're doing. That's pretty awesome that how you see it, you know? It's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, like someone was talking to me about this 2 years ago, and asked the question of like, oh, do your tattoos have meaning? And I was like, no, most of my tattoos don't have meaning. But what happens when you get tattooed is there's a story that comes from getting tattooed. There's an experience that comes from that tattoo.
Definitely.
And so even if the tattoo yourself coming in didn't have meaning, by the time you're done, there's a story that comes from it.
Interesting. That's really awesome. That's really awesome, Mil. You know, you have those people, those naysayers, they're a little old fashioned. These are people who are probably born in the 30s and the 40s who just scowl at tattoos and say, you'll regret it when you get older and this, and that. I think the last time I heard that was probably when I was 7 years old, but there's still people like that out there. What do you say to those people who, I mean, obviously you don't want to flick them off, but what do you say to those people who have those opinions of tattoos?
Well, I mean, like, at this point in my life, I have learned that there's no way you're ever going to make everybody happy. And I have learned that the only time anyone ever says anything negative to you is because they're unhappy with something in their own life. Like, no happy person or healthy person sees something they don't like and says anything about it. Because it doesn't bother you. It doesn't, like, affect you. You don't care. Like, when you're happy and you see someone, like, wearing a shirt you don't like, you're not like, oh, that's a horrible shirt, and, like, say something to them. You're just, like, questioning their fashion choice in your head for 2 seconds, then you're like, oh, look over here. There's something I'm actually doing with my life. So when someone says something like that to me, at that point, I usually try and be, like, extremely positive back. Like, I usually try and offer them, like, a lot of kindness. I try complimenting them. I try, saying, like, I'm sending you love. I'm sending you some positive energy. And, like, it's all of my negativity for the most part. Sometimes I just say ridiculous things back. But for the most part, I respond with, like, kindness. Almost every single time I get these guys, like, DMing me after and, like, apologizing and, like, thanking me for, like, listening or asking about their day and stuff. Right. And, like, it's really, like, the only way they know how to interact with someone is negative, because obviously nobody in their life is kind to them. And, like, so sure, they're insulting my tattoos, but, like, it's so much deeper than that. And, like, actually, pays attention to tattoos, realizes that, like, we obviously don't give a crap what their tattoos can look like in, however many years. We want to look like we want to be happy now.
Definitely. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just, you have the naysayers. It was funny because I remember my teacher, somebody had a tattoo. It was one of those little ones in high school, and they scowled at him. And then years later, I'm looking on Facebook, and this same teacher has a full-blown sleeve. And he was one of those people that said, you're going to regret it when you get older. So it's kind of one of those things where you don't know until you actually have the ink touching your skin, because it's, again, like you said, it's those moments, like whatever you're feeling, how you're feeling, you put it on your skin. It's art. That's pretty cool. And do guys get intimidated by you? Like, do women, like, when they see you walking around, like, how is that, just the interaction with people, going to the grocery store, these kind of things? Like, do you notice the energy kind of just people kind of floating up or something, or?
Definitely do see a lot of people who give me the strange, like, side eyes, kids especially, but I think it's more like they're just and I feel like because I'm a heavily visibly tattooed person, I have a responsibility to my industry and to my community to represent for, like, the unexpected. So, like, when someone looks at me, they automatically assume something. They make an automatic judgment about the type of person that I'm going to be, and almost every single time they give me an opportunity to open my mouth, they're surprised by the fact that I'm articulate and I am remotely intelligent and I'm kind, and that I can hold a conversation with them in ways that they never expected. And so I go out of my way to really, like, show people that, like, their predispositions are wrong. And I feel like it's honestly an honor in a lot of ways that I get to be one of the people that's potentially actually doing something in the forefront of changing people's opinions because of the way I look and because I have the opportunity to, like, really change people's immediate reaction.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. Because I don't know why, especially in this age, like, people shouldn't be, especially kids. I mean, you can't be side-eyeing somebody and you're listening to Young Thug or you're listening to NBA Young Boy, like these people who clearly are covered with tattoos. You know what I mean? That's an interesting concept, you know. Um, and I think that the best thing that people should do is kind of just not even take it like how they took it back in the day. Like if you had a time machine and you went back to like the 80s, yes, I could see why people would react the way they do. But now it's just like you should be used to it because it's everywhere, you know? And I think that just like you said, having the intellectual conversations, that's why I like listening to somebody like Travis Barker on the Joe Rogan podcast. That's why I like listening to Joe Rogan, and he's tatted from arms, you know? Um, it's a big misunderstanding that I noticed that a lot of people have against people who do have tattoos. Like it's one of those things where it's kind of annoying after a while.
At
Like,
this point, it's not. Yeah, I don't think it's even a like ignorance anymore or like a misunderstanding. I think at this point, with the amount of information that exists on the internet and with the amount of people in the media that are heavily tattooed or any of these things, like, you know, with the stuff that's going on in the world right now, I feel like it's willful ignorance in the sense that, like, you can't try and honestly tell me that, like, you just don't have the education or that you haven't been exposed to it. At this point, you're just an asshole and you don't want to change.
good way to put it. Good way to put it. Good way to put it. And of course, you know, as far as what you do, as far as being an entrepreneur, being a businesswoman, you know, I noticed a lot of things on your blog site, your website, I should say, your blogs that were very interesting. You know, you had a lot of, um, you know, because I noticed, and that's one question that I want to ask you too is, me personally, I feel like when I read your blogs, like it's kind of like you're thinking about it in the moment, or it's something that's been lingering on your mind for a while, to where it's like I gotta express it, and I could just tell just by the lengths of the blogs and stuff like that. How did you start wanting? Well, why did you want to start doing blogs? Because for example, for the listeners who want to check out memphismori.com, um, you know, you have a title or a blog that's called Your Job as a Client, which is about, clients you should already know what to walk into. You know, you got these people who want to come in saying, I want headphones tatted on my stomach. So, when a chick is doing this or whatever, it can make it look good. Or, you have people who go from there to, I just want to I love you mom on my arm. But just kind of walking in like, what's your intention for creating these kind of blogs, I should say? Because you're obviously helping people, but what goes on in your psyche to where it's just like, I have to put this out there for the people to see?
It depends. It depends entirely on that specific article. Like, it's a lot of times, like, I deal with a lot, like, seeing the same thing over and over and over in my day-to-day life. So, like, in the tattoo industry, we get clients who come in and ask the same two questions.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets to, I'm going to educate them so that maybe they can do their research before. A lot of times when I was starting to get into tattooing or getting into this industry, I wished somebody would tell me this information. When I was first going to get my first tattoos, I wished somebody on the internet had taken the time to, like, create the content that I'm creating right now. And, I don't just write about, like, business stuff or tattoo stuff, but there's a lot of, like, I talk about feminism, I talk about being a woman in business, I talk about being a mom, I talk about, being a single parent. And, like, I really wished growing up that I had someone to, like, see on the internet that, like, created content like I created, and, like, that was approachable, and, like, someone that if I messaged them that they would actually reply. And, like, that's something that is super important to me, is, like, I try and respond to every single person who messages me. Now, if you message me the word hi, I'm probably not going to respond.
Yeah.
But, like, if somebody sends something to me that has, like, a point or a message or, like, a question, I will go out of my way to, like, actually have a conversation with each one of these people, because I do feel like I am in a position where I could help somebody grow, I could educate somebody, I could make their lives easier. And, like, that's basically my main motivation, is I just want to be a kind of person that provides a value to my life. Like, I don't want to just exist for the sake of existing and then die, doing nothing with my time.
That's good. That's a good way to put it, and that definitely helps out a lot of people. And from what I see, it's like you really open yourself up on your website. It's like it's kind of like you're giving people all of you, but you're still holding some things back, but you're definitely like it's I kind of when I look at it, I see more of like a like you're teaching life lessons as well as just kind of just not I don't want to say fed up, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, oh my gosh, guys, like something like that, or like the difference between like you have one that's I have it written down, but a great tattoo versus a great picture. You know, it's like those kind of things. Now, a great tattoo versus a great picture, or a great photograph, I was a victim to that because and you're probably gonna be the only one that sees this. Well, the listeners, but I never showed anybody before. But I had an image of a Superman. Like I had a friend who drew a Superman, kind of logo, and then had the dollar sign in it. So you ready? So I'm gonna show you what it looks like, and that's how I know there's a difference between a photograph and a tattoo. But it is this crazy looking stuff right here.
Oh,
Yeah, that's nasty. I haven't taken off my shirt since '09 since I had this tattoo.
like your works really well, and you could absolutely go to a good artist and get that covered, no problem.
Yeah.
It's pretty light,
Memphis
but
Mori, you might have to get out of retirement. I might have to go to you because I think that since I showed you, I think that my trust is in you now.
interview. I've seen a lot worse, to be honest.
I bet. They used to have that show. What was the name of that show where it was like people come in and get their ink covered? What is it called?
Tattoo nightmares.
Tattoo Nightmares. Yeah, I need to be on that show, right? That's funny how you had that, and now I see this. I was really interested in this article, on your website, called Demons, and it really caught my attention. I don't know why. Maybe because of what's going on right now in 2020. It's a lot of darkness. It's a lot of people. The energy is just very low. Out here in California, we have wildfires. In the north. The south of America, you have a hurricane that's going on out there. So it's a lot of different things that are really impacting the world. And just seeing this article, again, you're giving your all to your viewers, to your fans. What made you want to write that? This was written in 2016, I see, right? Okay.
So I'm battled with like depression since I was about 9.
Mm-hmm.
And it has almost beaten me many times. Like I have had several suicide attempts under my belt, and thankfully I have failed every time. But at that point in my life was a really big turning point for me, because when I first met my ex-husband, I was really, really at like one of the lowest points in my life. And in meeting him, he was really a huge inspiration for me to become such a stronger person and to like grow and get better mentally. And so when I wrote this, it was like I was at a turning point where like I had started to like get better, and since then I haven't really had the same level of like depression or anxiety or like mental health issues. But it was just sort of like I don't want to say like saying goodbye to it because you can never get rid of it, but it was something that like I really felt like I needed to like immortalize in a sense. So like I always look back, and I've always had like a problem, like because people who don't have depression or anxiety don't know what it feels like.
Right.
They have no concept of it. So whenever I would talk about how I felt with it, people who didn't have depression would say, "Oh, I never thought of it like that," or "I never knew that," because like no one else has ever been able to articulate what it actually feels like to someone who's never experienced it.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that before I had lost all of that darkness completely, that I kind of put it down onto like pen and paper, so that like there was kind of a record of what it was like at that time. And it's definitely a very different piece than what I usually write, but it was something that I think went pretty viral because of the fact that it was pretty raw and pretty real, and like definitely not like a cute Instagram filtered version.
Right. Yeah, that's the vibe that I got, because it is one of those pieces where we all go through stuff. I'm not saying people aren't always the happiest. Some people are, but even the people that are the happiest, they may be consuming stuff to try to just escape from whatever negative stuff may affect their lives or whatever. The beauty in that is that you did like you said, you didn't get rid of it completely, but you definitely just buried it in your backyard, if that makes sense. It's one of those things where it's just like, man, I got to move on. That's kind of like, am I right? Like it's just like I just got to move forward. Like, yeah, that helps out a lot, and I think that helps out a lot of kids. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wrote for closure. It was something that they before I felt like it was time for me to like put that box in like the basement and like turn off the lights and like walk away and fingers crossed never come back to that part of my life.
I'm glad that you dealt with that, because a lot of people are still, especially now, since a lot of people are unemployed and all these kind of things, like it definitely is inspiring to know that you're that kind of person that's like, hey, I've been there for a while in that tunnel, and let me tell you, it is not fun, and I'm getting out of there, and I want you guys to get out of there too. I think we need more people like that, especially, I mean, just because who's a true leader that really has value nowadays, as far as like, those people, like when I look at somebody like Barack Obama, the president, of the United States, of course, I don't, I wish I knew more about the president in Canada, but our president out here, he gave us that kind of, that hope, that coolness, that calm and collectiveness, to where it was just like, I had friends who were, cutting themselves up at one point, and not saying that Obama helped, but I think just the influences and just, it was kind of like the energy was a little different when he was president. They changed their lives around, and that's beautiful, and that's something that I want people, especially the listeners who are listening, to really embrace. That is that, man, like there's always a tomorrow. I always have that saying, conquer the world today. I don't say conquer the world for the rest of your life. I'm just like, conquer it today, because you have stepping stones. Whether you're watching your kids, whether you're cooking for your husband, whether you have stepping stones, but continue to just conquer. You got that heart of gold, like yourself. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing what you got to do, and that really just put the cherry on top of my thinking with this article. So everybody check that out, man. MemphisMori.com. That article, Demons. If you guys are going through anything, if you guys are planning on doing something that you'll regret, definitely check that out. Unless you want to get a face tattoo, I don't think you'll regret that later. I feel like I feel like everybody's gonna get a face tattoo in the future, and employees are just gonna be like, fuck it, just come on, just work. What was that?
I support face tattoos for everyone.
You support face tattoos for, yeah. It's one of those things. I can't say I haven't thought about it. I just don't know what the fuck to get. I see like different people. Like one dude, who was it? I think is it like Post Malone? Post Malone is just like, and I was like, God damn, 4 years ago you were cool. What was that? You're kind of breaking up. What was that?
Sorry, Post Malone has like 10 on his face at this point.
That's insane. And you only have one right here and one on the side? You only have two?
I have 7 on my face.
Come on, you got to hit that 3 more and get like him. You know what I'm saying?
I'll get there eventually.
Definitely.
My fans are be very mad at you for suggesting that, because I keep threatening to get more, and they keep getting very upset at me. Apparently, my face is perfect the way it is, and I'm like, perfect. More tattoos.
Right on. Memphis Mori, this is fun, man. We do have a little this or that I want to go over. Now, this is something, that people choose, whether they want to do cat or dog, whether they want to do, these are things that the fans submit. And we'll just go back and forth and just see, which one you prefer. So we have a few examples. Let me just pull it up right here. God, it is so hot out here in California. I can't even bear it. Let's see. So we have, the first one is, okay, so we have the first this or that. It's the water bottles. Aquafina or Arrowhead. Which one do you prefer? You could say, well,
I don't think we have Arrowhead in Canada.
Good.
Like throw a curveball in there and say tap water, because like, stop buying bottled water, guys. We got tap water. You're killing the planet.
Well, certain places, their tap water is trash out here. I think like Florida, people fucking die on the tap water. But you gotta I get it, like the filter water or whatever kind of. What's that?
I said, what, you mean like Flint, Michigan? In which case, yeah, yeah, I understand the bottled water.
Flint, but I was talking more about Florida. You know, Florida is they have something in their pipes where it's just bad water. Yeah, like you can't even drink out the water hose. I'm that kind of person that once I'm doing yard work, I'm drinking out the water hose, and you can't even do that in Florida, which is crazy. But we have if okay, so you don't have Arrowhead, so I'm assuming you're choosing Aquafina. I'm gonna choose Aquafina because it's a good thing you guys don't have Arrowhead. Let me tell you, it tastes like you might as well just eat chalk for the rest of your life. Um, and we have 57% who also agreed that Aquafina is good. So that's a good thing. The next one is I seen you have pets, you have an animal. I see this or that. It looks like tabby cats or black cats. Which one do you prefer?
Black cats forever.
Mm-hmm. Tabby cat
They
forever.
are no black. Like I love all cats, but
Mm-hmm.
like black cats, they're like the least likely animal to get adopted in shelters. And
Mm.
I've had black cats since I was a child, and I've always had a black cat, and they are the absolute sweetest. And they definitely have a bad rap, but they are super cute, and you don't notice them shedding as much if you wear as much black as I do.
Is it true that really like when a black cat walks like runs across the street it's bad luck? Because I've seen that plenty of times, but I've never, knock on wood, had any situations. Is that a thing?
Black cat crossed my path like 16 times a day minimum, and if it really was bad luck, I think I would probably be dead by now.
Yeah.
But I call bullshit to that superstition.
I was gonna say I thought you got out the car and just grabbed it and just took it with you.
If I find a stray cat, it will come home.
That's
It's
awesome.
how I.
That's so cool. I love that, man. I love dogs, but cats are so freaking cool. Um, I choose tabby cats only because I have two tabbies, Wizard and Machiavelli, aka Wiz and Mac. You guys can follow them on Instagram as well. And it looks like, yeah, we have 33% that says tabby cats. So black cats win. Shout out to black cats. Black lives matter. Black cat lives matter. That's awesome. That's awesome how we're just in the game on that one. Let's see. We got another this or that. We got, okay, tattoos. Uh, we got tramp stamps or we got butt cheek tattoos. Who sent this?
That's a hard one. Like, do I want one of these? Because like I totally have a tramp stamp.
Was that your, let me guess, that must have been your 30th tattoo.
I have no idea. I don't even know how many tattoos I have.
When did you lose count? Like after what number? Because I know you took time to count where they are.
I mean, the last time I remember counting, I think I got up to about 150,
Ugh.
and
Oof.
then
That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait till I get to that level, man. I want to just be like where I'm just like scratching, trying to find the very first tattoo that I got on my right arm.
what my goal at this point is like I just want to have one tattoo, and it's like there's just no, and like I can totally count because like only one. So that's the goal. That's the dream.
Hey, let's put together a poll, guys. Should she since she's missing some spots, should she get this? You know, some of these tweaked up a little bit. Let's know, man. That's cool, man. That's really cool. I'm rolling with, and I want to know what the fans think. I'm rolling with. I think that the tramp stamp tat was definitely. I'm rolling with like the 34th tat, maybe. It might have just been like, it might have just been something just like like, hey, just hook it up. You know, I got a little money to blow. Hook me up, or a colleague or whatnot. And then we have.
Is actually like my tramp stamp's actually part of my back piece, so I don't even know if it really qualifies as a tramp stamp. But it's it literally says "You're my only hope" in like bad traditional tattoo lettering. So yeah, I have a Star Wars inspirational quote on my lower abs or like lower back, just above my ass. So yeah.
And it says what again? You're my only hope.
You're my only hope.
Interesting. Okay. There's a lot I want to say about that, but I'm not. So let's go ahead and move on. And it looks like, yeah, everybody else wants. It's 100% that said tramp stamps. I guess butt tats are not. I mean, what do you really? I mean, besides, because some people get like the side piece and then like their butt, like Cardi B, how she has a little butt, and then it goes up here. I guess the only.
so many butt cheek tattoos at the shop. It's absurd, actually. So saying 100% of people said tramp stamp seems very weird to me.
Really?
Because like right now I'm getting like these little like emoji peaches on their like butt and like little butterflies, and then like they get like these little quotes that say things like just peachy or like not yours or like don't touch, and I'm like, y'all are so cheeky.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, who are they referring to? Like, who do they not want to touch it? Now, are these mostly women? I'm taking it these are mostly women, right? That get these butt tats. They're men? Mostly men that get these butt tats?
It's like a 50-50, like, I would say gender plays no part in the butt tattoo demographic.
So wait, so men are getting peach tattoos on their butt. Interesting. Yep. Interesting. Okay. Hey, I'm not hating. To each his own. To each his own. I just remember, it's funny because, the only reason why I can kind of relate to 100, because the only butt tats that I've seen were like kissy, like the little kiss, lipstick kiss or whatever. That's it. I never seen peaches. That's pretty funny.
I are out of style because we did so many goddamn stupid kisses back in the day. And I am very glad to see that people are being more creative in their emoji use now.
Yeah. Shout out to the emojis. Now I heard that, and this may just be a funny rumor, but I was in high school when I heard this. When people do get the butt tat, it's like the tattoo artist or the girlfriend or the boyfriend or whatever literally like kisses their butt, and the tattoo artist just traces and is that true, or how do you guys do those? The lipstick tattoos.
Usually, what we do is far less exciting. Usually, we Google kiss stencil on Google, and then we print out the stereotypical one that we find, and then we do that. So most people have the exact same lips tattooed on their asses.
Baby, do you want a tattoo on your butt? No, I'm just playing. She's at work. But that's really cool. So shout out to the people. I support the tramp stamps more. That's what I'm common with. That's what, when I go to Hurricane Harbor or whatever theme park that involves water and bikinis, the beach, I always see the tramp stamps. But shout out to the people that also get the butt tats, whether male or female. Let's see, another this or that. We got, this is a pretty good one. You being an entrepreneur, what do you prefer, a desk job or a traveling job?
Is that really a question?
Mm-hmm. It's like either or. You pick either or.
Would someone actually say a job?
Will somebody say what? A desk job?
Obviously, the answer is
travel job.
You say no. I would rather sit at a desk. Like the answer is travel. You obviously want to travel.
Well, we have 45% that's a desk job, but I think it's because you got a lot of introverts. You probably got a lot of people who've been in the pandemic for a little too long, so they're just like, fuck it, I'll just this helps. Maybe they're talking. Maybe they're not thinking about period, just the rest of their life. Maybe they're just thinking about the moment. I don't know, but I'm definitely a worldly guy. I like travel jobs, and we got that one winning. So yeah. Shout out to me in Memphis for having travel jobs that we enjoy. Let's see. We got another one. This is another cool one. I feel like somebody sent this before. But what would you rather prefer, vinyls or CDs? We're talking the 80s to the 90s or the 2000s?
I mean, if I have to pick between the two, I would probably go with, this is an unpopular opinion, is because, I have zero interest in having to go, pick my, vinyl thing up and flip it over after it's played 3 songs, and then, CD, at least there's, 20 songs, and you can, skip them.
That's true.
I don't want to have to go over there, listen to, some track, and then, get all annoyed, and then, at this point, I just yell at Alexa to start playing music, and if I don't like it, I tell Alexa to skip, and,
right.
CDs are closer to that.
Yeah. For me, it depends on the mood. If it's if I'm slow dancing with my woman or something, I definitely want to have a vinyl. But if if my boy is like, hey, this is back in the 2000s. If my friend is like, hey, bring a mix CD or whatever. If bring a vinyl, I got to put it in my backpack or something. I can't just carry it with me. But a CD, I could just slip it in my pocket, and I don't care if it gets scratched up, it still works.
Cars too.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been a car replace vinyl.
How cool would that be, though? Let's keep it completely honest, Memphis Mori. How cool would it be, though, if you did have a vinyl player?
I mean, one of my cars was a 1974 Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
Ooh.
And the thing I did when I bought that car was I took out the radio and replaced it with one that had like a more modern radio. So I'm still going to say I prefer CDs to vinyl, regardless of how cool that would be.
Right on, right on. And we got 80% that said CDs as well. I'm guessing the vinyl people are probably like those backpack rappers. Maybe Kid Cudi might have voted for the vinyls as well. Maybe somebody who was familiar with Barry White and Marvin Gaye back in the day chose vinyls. I don't know. But shout out to the 20% that said vinyls. Let's see. We got a few more, and then we'll wrap it up. We have... Oh, this is one that I actually liked, and I was the first one to vote on this one, but I want to know what you think. For when it comes to... Do you eat wings? Let me ask you that first. Do you eat chicken wings? Did you before?
Nope.
Never.
Yes.
What? Yes, you have.
I have eaten chicken wings.
You have eaten chicken wings. Okay. So when it comes to sauce, do you prefer ranch dressing or blue cheese? They spell blue cheese wrong. They spelled it like blue, BLUE. But ranch dressing or blue cheese?
Ranch.
Okay. I thought you were my best friend, Memphis Mori, but I'm going to have to go with blue cheese on that one. Only because ranch, carrots, salad, wings, I take those. I'm a fatty, and I take those at heart, so I got to go with blue cheese. I'm sorry. I love you to death, and I'm sorry. And it looks like you're every yeah. It looks like people are saying ranch dressing as well, so I'm not even complaining. It is to each his own, literally to each his own. And last but not least, cool. What kind of music do you listen to, or did you listen to mostly?
I'm one of those weirdos that listen to literally everything.
Same.
So everyone's like, I love everything but country. I'm like, no, I'll listen to country. I'll listen to blues. I'll listen to R&B, rap, punk. Like, is it good? I'll listen to it.
Yeah, I go from J. Cole to Slipknot like that. I got a whole playlist of everything. Now, they want to know, when it comes to, wait, let me go back to that one. When it comes to what you prefer, as far as who would you rather, let's say hypothetically, date, would you date a singer or a guitarist?
Oh, that's so hard. The option, I can't have both. Damn it. I'll go guitarist then.
Guitarist? Okay. You like a little...
Yeah, something about the guitar and it's the weight of my heart. You play guitar and I'm just magically just yes, please, I'm done. So...
Got you. I got a whole bunch of guitars. Well, they're in the hallway posted up, but yeah, I got electric, I got acoustic. I could sing a little bit in the shower, Okay, and it looks like... Oh, let me do mines. I voted guitar player as well, only because my hypothetic, because my girlfriend doesn't play guitar, I wish she did, but my hypothetic guitarist would be like the Josie and the Pussycats chicks. I just like that kind of vibe. I don't know, but it's just something about women who play guitar is really attractive to me. And of course, the basic fans just playing. The fans voted for singers. So I'm guessing, because you can get the Adele's anytime you want. You can even go as far as Cisco, the singer. You can go as far as Drake, the singing. But man, y'all gotta get creative. Guitar players are amazing, especially if they can do acoustic at the beach, serenade you, sip wine.
Get going.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's over. Okay. And I think we are good to go. Let me make sure, because people are still sending stuff. Yep, we are good to go on that. Perfect. Memphis Mori, I want to thank you so much for being a part of the JAYO podcast. This was awesome. This was fun. And thank you for just being a good, I consider you an online mentor, just as far as somebody who just has a voice, has an opinion. You do support Black Lives Matters. I see your link on on your Instagram. So thank you. That means a lot. And what's coming up next for you? Where can we hit you up at to contact you and all that good stuff?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. It's been awesome. And right now, I am just doing a lot of writing. I'm working on a lot of Instagram TV videos. So right now, the best place to follow me or hit me up is definitely going to be on Instagram.
Perfect. I have Memphis Mori, Memphis like the city. Mori, Mori, not Mari, the TV host, Mauri.
My super clever Memento Mori reference.
Okay.
Chicago after my divorce, and we were like, okay, girl, we gotta come up with a new name for you, because fuck your ex-husband. And I was like, yeah, right, okay. So we had 10 hours in a car, and we were like, cool, we're just gonna say Memphis, and then whatever dumb thing comes up next. So it was 10, Memphis tree, Memphis road, Memphis propane tank. And then at some point we were just, I think, listening to something on the radio, and the song was Memento Mori, and it was just this instant, both of us were got it. And so it's been Memphis Mori ever since.
Memphis Mori, okay. Yeah, the Memento Mori thing, that definitely creeps me out. I saw that on Rest in Peace Mac Miller. I saw that on his one of his newest music videos, and that's pretty it's pretty trippy. It's a really very symbolic title, and I'm glad you changed it to Memphis Mori. I think that's a little more on
Memphis has always been my name, as for it's been like that forever. But the Mori thing is just basically to remember life after death, and it can be considered really creepy, but at the same time it's a really beautiful concept of celebrating life. And I've always had this fascination with death and the whole afterlife thing, so it just was a natural and logical thing for me. But it at the same time has such a positive spin to it, in the sense that we only have this one opportunity to make a difference and to be to do something worthwhile with our lives. So remember death, and remember that it's always there lingering, and we only have this one chance to make our lives count.
To conquer the world, That's cool, because I believe in afterlife too in some weird way. I think that there's definitely, whether it's the spirits, whether it's the energy or whatever, I don't think that this is just the end, but we may just be in another planet after. We may just go somewhere completely different. We're just not going to be here. So all of the listeners there, take that into consideration. I don't think that we're going to be, I don't even think the baddest people necessarily go to hell. I just don't know what's worse than the world, but hope.
Life after death thing, this podcast is going to go on for the next 10 years.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. We could talk about that next time. But Memphis Mori, thank you so much. I hope you have a safe day and the rest of your life and everything. Please be safe out there with this COVID bullshit that's going on. Thank God you're in Canada. I might need to take a trip out there if shit hits the fan out here. So,
good idea. We welcome all non-shitty Americans.
Yes.
If you voted for Trump, you are not welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Fuck Trump.
Good to know. Yeah. Forget it. And his toupee, too. Fuck Trump and his toupee. Okay. All right, Memphis Mori. Well, you have a good one. Stay safe. And kisses to your baby. And you have a good one, okay? All right.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.